Right. October 1st, 2025, we're looking at NASDAQ futures 2000 tick chart. I'll take you through a little bit of the upfront analysis I did pre-market to give me a little bit of a bias and some of the things that I wanted to look for on the day. So this was the value, the previous day regular trading hours value area and the overnight value area. I felt like the overnight value area was or the value itself was shifting lower. You can see that it basically broke lower and wasn't able to kind of make its way back towards the value area high. It also broke the value area low. So getting into the session, I was really paying attention to um, breaks of these levels. I became interested right over here when we broke out of the value area high, but again, I try to kind of sit on my hands for the first 15 minutes. So I was really patient. And once I saw that price had a lot of difficulty breaking the value area high and then failing underneath the overnight value area high. So again, price wasn't able to break out of the prior day regular trading hours value area high. You can see it didn't quite make it up to that level and then failed the overnight value area high. I became really interested. Add to that, this is actually the anchor of the strategy, is if I just print a volume profile up to that point, you can see this really clear ledge in the volume profile that it wasn't able to get up and over. Get rid of that real quick. A couple other confluences that I like. Let me just print VWAP. I really like the fact that it was breaking back into the underneath the first deviation of VWAP. So that was a really good signal for me. Mesh that. This is going to get a little bit messy, but mesh that with some of the big trades that were coming in. I need to zoom in over here. So we can see when I basically entered, I saw some big trades coming in to the downside that made me really interested, and obviously more than interested, I basically entered the trade. The other two confluences that gave me confidence with this move down was volume delta. So cumulative volume delta was basically pointing downwards. You can see that it was just basically starting to arc down. That was interesting. And then I'll just sort of share a 30-minute chart. This was really kind of tipping the scales here. Just sort of pay attention on the right. This is a 30-minute chart. I know eventually the day basically broke completely to the other side, but when that was all happening, we were getting this wicked rejection of the weekly VWAP. And that's a really big institutional level. Like you don't want a long, you really want confirmation, like a lot of confirmation if you're thinking about longing through or above VWAP. I think it's probably a smarter play to look for confluences when we're kind of testing VWAP or especially weekly VWAP from below. So this gave me additional confluence to say, okay, cool. I think we're going to go down in the short term. So all those things kind of stacked together made me jump into the trade. You can see when that happened, right? It was just a small one lot or one contract that I sold on NQ. Here's what I didn't do well. Initially I had a target of the previous day regular trading hours value area low, and you can see that we nailed that a little bit further down from where I actually took profit. I'll print the volume profile to illustrate where I should have actually taken the trade or what I should have targeted. But basically, it sold off, and I took profit at VWAP pretty much. Very often VWAP is a magnet, and you'll get bounces off VWAP like this kind of thing, and I wanted to avoid that. All in all, the trade risk reward wasn't amazing. It wasn't like yesterday where it was like 1 to 3 type of thing. This ended up being 1 to 1.5, right? So 1 to 1.5 risk ratio. So in other words, for every dollar that I was risking, I ended up making $1.50 in this particular case. What I should have done is I should have again used the volume profile to say, okay, well, what potential ledge could I use to capture this trade, right? So basically, we were trading from one ledge all the way to the other, right? So again, if we just sort of print the volume profile here, you can see that it just stopped out at the ledge right over here, and then it kind of bounced back. So that's what I should have paid attention to is high probability. It's basically ping ponging between from really one ledge of the volume profile to the other. I would have actually totally nailed that if I had that in mind. Anyway, that was the day. I'm pretty happy with it. It was a 35-point trade with a really like a high probability setup with all those different things that were happening at the same time, like the failure of VWAP, the failure or the hitting from above of the ledge of the volume profile, sort of all this absorption and big trades coming through, CVD, and then the weekly VWAP. So all those things came together, and I thought this was a pretty good trade. So anyway, happy with it. I'll know to hold a little bit longer and look into volume profile a little bit more. Anyway, that's the day. Take it easy.